Hey there, Mark Scala, author of The Leverage Point, How Overwhelmed Founders Stop Doing Everything So They Can Start Achieving Anything. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something I called the CEO Bottleneck Test. Let's start off with a simple question. If you disappeared from your business for 2 weeks, would it keep growing or would it grind to a halt? That's the essence of the CEO Bottleneck Test. And for most founders, the answer is painful. Because the truth is, too many businesses are still powered by one thing, the founder's personal energy. Every decision, every deal, every client issue somehow finds its way back to them. If your business can't survive 2 weeks without you, you don't own a business, you own a bottleneck. And here's the kicker. The bigger the business gets, the bigger the bottleneck gets. What feels like control in the early days becomes a chokehold as you grow. And that's why so many founders hit a wall. They're too essential to the machine. The business doesn't run without them, and it's killing their growth. Today, I'm going to break down the CEO Bottleneck Test in detail, what it is, how to run it, and how to use it to finally step out of the way of your own success. Most founders don't even realize that they are the bottleneck. They think they're being good leaders, that they're staying involved, they're making sure everything's done right. But in reality, they're holding the entire business hostage to their own attention span. Let's take a couple examples of what that looks like. A client sends an email, but instead of the account manager answering, it gets escalated straight to the founder. Or your team builds a proposal, but no one's going to send it until you sign off on it. Or a supplier has a problem, and your team's not going to make a call without checking with you first. If every decision, every approval, and every problem finds its way back to you, congratulations. You've just identified the bottleneck. And the cost isn't just time, it's your growth. When you're the bottleneck, deals stall, teams stop taking ownership, and opportunities die waiting for your approval. And the irony? The harder you work, the slower the business moves, because your calendar is now the growth limiter. That's why I call this the silent killer of scaling companies. It looks like leadership. It feels like involvement. But really, it's a bottleneck choking your growth. And I know this because I've lived it. I've been the leader whose team waited for every decision. I thought I was protecting quality, but what I was really doing was teaching people not to act without me. I once had a 12-person team that couldn't send a proposal without my approval. And that wasn't quality control. That was me being the bottleneck. And since then, I've worked with dozens of founders in that $2 to $10 million revenue range who are all in the exact same spot. They don't lack talent. They don't lack ambition. They just built a business model where everything depends on them. And that's unsustainable. That's why I created the CEO Bottleneck Test. It's not just a thought exercise, it's a wake-up call. The bottleneck isn't a scheduling problem, it's a design problem. If your business can't move without you, that's not proof of your genius, it's proof of a broken structure. If you're proud that nothing happens without you, that doesn't make you a strong leader. That makes you the bottleneck. Think about it. Every major company that scales does so because the founder steps out of daily decisions. Jeff Bezos didn't personally approve every Amazon listing, and Sarah Blakely didn't ship every box of Spanx. But in smaller businesses, founders confuse activity with impact. They believe that being involved in everything means that they're adding value, and in reality, they're just slowing everything down. The CEO Bottleneck Test flips the script. Instead of asking, how much do I get done? It asks, how much gets done without me? And that's the real measure of scalability. Because here's the truth. You don't scale by doing more. You scale by being needed less. So let's actually run the CEO Bottleneck Test together. There's 3 parts to it. Step 1 is the time away test. Imagine disappearing from your business for just 1 week. What happens? Do deals still close? Do projects still move? Do clients still get served? Or does everything sit on pause until you're back? If your business freezes the moment you take a week off, you don't have a business. You have a job with overhead. Step 2, the stress to revenue ratio. When revenue goes up, how do you feel? Most founders feel more stress, not less. Every new client, every new dollar, it just means more work on their plate. And that's a bottleneck indicator. If growth makes your life harder instead of easier, then that's not growth. That's fragility. In step 3, for the next 48 hours, I want you to track every decision you touch, big or small. Client calls, marketing approvals, vendor issues, even internal questions. Write them all down. Now circle the ones that could have been handled by someone else if the right system or framework existed. If 80% of your decisions could be solved with a checklist or a clear workflow, you're not leading, you're clogging the system. The bottleneck test isn't just about ego, it's about data. And data usually shows that the founder is in the middle of way too much. And once you see that, you can finally start designing your business differently. And that right there is why I wrote The Leverage Point, because identifying the bottleneck is step 1, but fixing it is what unlocks true scale. The book gives you the exact tools to shift from founder reliance to system reliant. It shows you how to document processes so your team can act without you. It gives you frameworks for training people to own outcomes, not just tasks. And it shows you how to create a decision-making filter so that not everything rolls back up to you. First tool in the leverage point is the CEO Bottleneck Test, because once you see the problem, you can finally fix it. And as a bonus, when the book launched, it hit #1 on Amazon in pre-sales. And to me, that wasn't about rankings. It was nice, but that was about proof that founders everywhere are desperate to get out of their way and find a way to scale without burning out. So here's the bottom line. If your business only works when you overwork, you're not scaling. You're stuck in a bottleneck. The goal of a founder isn't to be involved in everything. It's to design a business that runs without you. And that's the shift from being the doer to being the designer. If you're ready to run the CEO Bottleneck Test for yourself, and more importantly, if you're ready to fix it, go grab yourself a copy of The Leverage Point. It's available right now on Amazon for less than $10 on paperback. If you like the Kindle version, it's still under $1 during the launch. And if you prefer audio, it's live on Audible too. When you get the book, don't forget, it unlocks a free toolkit. It's the exact resources I give to founders to help them get the bottleneck out of the bottleneck and start scaling with systems. So stop being the bottleneck, start being the leverage point. Go grab the book today, because the truth is simple. Bottlenecks break businesses. But once you fix the design, business doesn't just grow, it finally scales.